Guys, this is Dir En Grey, MC, and then a lot of characters that I can't read. English subs. And this is live in HD. If you guys haven't heard Dir En Grey, you're in for a treat. Oh, my bad. Let me set up. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. So I switched to a one monitor setup, and that kind of reroutes how I need to do the audio. I think this will work though. How's this? There you go. Creeperty, it's in the queue. Dude, this is so raw. Oh! Peek that mic. Yo, so if you guys don't know Kyo, we've listened to some of his other stuff with other projects, and we've never heard him in this context where it's just very, very just like screamo metal, right? Nuts, absolutely nuts. This is like more like deathy and less. The other stuff they do is way more experimental, but it's so cool to hear because he has already such a flexible voice, and it's so cool to hear him going into this more, I guess, like more popular metal genre than the kind of experimental stuff he does before. So dark. Dude, he's like an Urukai. Like his body is just like pure muscle, and it's just creating these unreal like screeches. It's not necessarily healthy singing. He's run into a lot of vocal issues through his life. But one thing that comes from unhealthy singing is unique sound. Though you lose flexibility to do more natural and more objectively beautiful things. But his voice is absolutely insane. The screams are super lined up. They're really well supported. And they're really kind of scary and dangerous. But that is the genre, right? That's the mood of this song. Super. It's like, wow. Imagine leaving this concert and just sitting in silence. Like, yeah. I mean, I think that's the point. This stuff like hollows you out. It's so crazy. Blue and Violet, thank you for the 3 months. Welcome. Yo! Alright, what the fuck? So it's almost similar to the level of kind of conciseness in the scream that we get from like Judas Priest, right? And the scream has very specific overtones that kind of take us up. Obviously, it's very different. Yeah, Rob Halford. But the kind of the virtuosity of just the screaming aspect is because Halford can do a lot of different things, but it's that kind of level of screaminess. Really, really crazy. Different style, different feeling. But you can hear, the overtones almost give that scream a different pitch. Purely from the scream, not really from the vocal cords. Crazy. You can't tell if it's that or it's so nuts. So animalistic. I mean, this is such an amazing use of the voice just as a musical instrument to create a unique sound to express an emotion in a song. I always love listening to Keo for this reason. Like, who else can go that deep? Halford. Go that deep and then go that high. I mean, obviously, again, very different voices. I'm not trying to say, like, one is better than the other. But if you're talking about just kind of the skill set being brought to the table, it's a very similar combination of vocal acoustics. Very similar timbres being used, in conjunction with each other. Those really awesome low growls going straight up to that high stuff. He obviously is using a lot more bodily effort, a lot more athleticism than Halford. It's not as refined, right? Chester Bennington. I don't know Chester Bennington, don't I, man? Yeah, something wicked is happening here. This is definitely very wicked. I think this is some of the most wicked stuff we access on the stream, but it's cool. You got to get the lows with the highs. You got to hit that darkest of dark to experience and enjoy the lightest of lights. Oh, okay. Interesting. The singer from Linkin Park. Dir En Grey's vibes really makes me feel like a Japanese Rammstein. Yeah. Lots of industrial sound, vocal exploration, very culturally very different from Rammstein. I think Germans and Japanese culture, German and Japanese culture overlap in the sense that they are very high quality of, there's a very high quality of artisanship in both cultures, I think. Dimash Khan, he is a singer. What does that mean? Not so much obsessed with fire, though. Yeah, there's not a lot of fire up on stage. This is more, I think about the darkness. Fire creates too much light, I think, for this group. Good point, though, Arden. The physicality. That's a good point. So Kyo, this is a great stop shot. But Kyo is all about the physicality. I mean, the physicality drives the singing he's doing. You can't make those screams happen without an immense physical overhaul. This guy makes death metal vocalists go, dude, what the fuck? Yeah. I mean, it's like, can you imagine like kind of making your whole career out of one specific type of growl sound, which, people do. They're the guys and you can, and there are people who you can kind of call out and be like, yeah, okay, that's their sound. Yeah, Tessa, we've listened to Dimash here. He can sing very high and very low. Oh, hi, Sarah. Welcome. But he kind of he uses it's almost like what he does is not technical. Well, actually, no, I take that back. What he does is not technical. Very rarely does a singer purely work from a technical standpoint. Very rarely does a singer purely perform and have developed and find their voice through a purely technical standpoint, at least at the professional level, right? Because one thing I really like to kind of talk about when I'm teaching is how singers need to focus more on the emotive aspect than on the technical. The technical needs to serve the emotive aspect, right? And Kyo's an amazing example of a singer who literally goes to 99% emotive. And then that extra 1% is technique that's driven through emotion and musculature, athleticism, right? So the activity of his body is all emotion driven, and that's what allows him to make these crazy screams work in this way. So it's sure, that's a good point, Grief Man. I mean, maybe in a technical sense they don't use like industrial sounds in the way that Rammstein does. But I think it's the intensity, right? The intensity and the darkness through different cultural lenses that you can use to compare this to Rammstein. But emphasis on different cultural lenses. So that's, and then that gets into be like an academic philosophical subject. Yeah. But these growls, Tessa, I think the thing that was misunderstood is that what I'm talking about is these low guttural growls and going straight to high screams. Like vocal range, I barely know. I mean, he can do clean vocals in all of it. But a completely trained singer, regardless of their voice type, should have access to at least at the professional level at least 3 octaves. In most cases, I could get away with phonating, and I mind you guys, I only use myself as an example because I've been training my voice for years and years and years. But my performance range is pretty much limited. It's not, I mean, I don't have to be this way, but I only really ever have to sing within 2 octaves of my voice. I'm not a rock or pop singer, but, you know, if I needed to sing a low, you know, F2 or whatever, I could do that. If I needed to sing, you know, pitch out of, you know, A5 or even, an A5, I guess would be like my top that I would accessibly do in a professional situation. I could do that. You know, the human voice, every single person, unless there is something actively going wrong with the way you're approaching singing, should have at least 2 octaves of range when it comes to pitch matching, right? You should be able to phonate at least 2 octaves. Now, if you can't do that, you should go seek out a voice teacher if you want to, because then you're probably doing something that could be remedied relatively easily. I heard you say in a video that Kyo has been hospitalized a lot. I don't know if I said a lot. I don't know for a fact a lot. But I definitely was, when we were doing another Kyo reaction, someone definitely mentioned that he was in the hospital. He sings, because of the way he sings, that someone must have misinformed you there. He was only hospitalized once. I don't think I meant to say a lot. I know the story about the one time he was hospitalized. Maybe I said that he's had a lot of vocal issues. Vocal node dysphoria. They were able to cure him with medicine, so he never had to undergo surgery. Yes, very cool. That's good. Yeah, and in most cases with nodes, you can get away with without having surgery. But when the nodes become cysts, the only way to deal with them is with surgery, and that's when things could go south, like what happened with. Actually, I forget if what Marco had was nodes or cysts, but that is neither here nor there. Point being, pitch range is something that's kind of like whatever, but it's the way you use the timbres of your voice throughout different ranges in relation that can be very impressive. Marco had a polyp. Thank you, Sky. Yeah. So polyps are pre-nodes. Vocal noodles. Yeah. His grandkids will know him as the Whisperer because he'll have no voice left. I think that's a good point, Capriani. Like, but this kind of singing is almost like self-sacrificing. Like the subject of this music is so full of pain, full of darkness and loneliness and suffering. And in sacrificing his future voice for these stage moments, he's creating scarcity and making each performance kind of its own special window into the vocal life, you know, where he is on this vocal journey. It's like it'll, and then as his voice deteriorates, it's like a more meta way of performing this kind of music. Now, you don't want to be vocalizing, you know, in a self-sacrificing way if your music is happy and you uplift people, right? And it's supposed to be beautiful. If you're an opera singer, you don't want to sing in a way that damages your voice. That's not really a productive type of performance. But I think the vocal, you know, we talk about the idea of vocal disability, you know, and the voice becomes damaged for different reasons and how that impacts the performance. It matches thematically the subject of this music, which is really, really profound. It's very meta.
Hey, you're still here. I hope you enjoyed that look into what we do on Twitch to celebrate great singers. You know, I owe you a huge thank you for being a part of this awesome community and letting me share my love of singing with you guys. The growth on this channel has been absolutely immense, and while I can't read every single comment requesting reactions, here's what you can do to get your favorite songs featured on the channel. You've got 3 options. One is to join the Twitch stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. When you've logged into Twitch and are watching the live stream, you can type !react, followed by the URL of your requested video. This adds your song to the queue that we work through during live streams. Alternatively, if you're really in a rush to get me to react to your song, you can head to my tipping page in the description down below and request a song with a tip of $4 or more to get it seen ahead of all the non-tipped requests. Don't worry, I make sure that every dollar gets put towards improving the channel's content and the community. The third way to get your request up on the channel is to join my Patreon. A patron of any tier level can request a song and get it reacted to that month, guaranteed. There are tons of other fun perks too, so I hope you check it out anyway. Thanks for watching. I hope you feel closer to the human voice and the artists you love, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Ciao. Tip turquoise.
You. Are you so cute? Oh, thank you. Oh, that's so cool.